village of Farndon on the English-Welsh border stands the church of St Chad. St Chad was the first bishop of the Mercians. In the year 672 AD, Chad died, but his name lived on for centuries to come. This church has a very long and dramatic history, and it's believed that wooden structures stood on here from the earliest times, indeed from Celtic times. The Domesday Book records that there was a priest present in this village. However, it also recorded that there were two wealthy priests who were landowners in the area. The outline of the church that we see today is predominantly attributed to the 14th century, as is the magnificent tower. This was also the time that a bridge was constructed to cross the nearby River Dee. While St Chad's has its roots firmly in the early medieval period, what we see today is the result of many restorations throughout the 19th and the 20th centuries. But it was in the 17th century when history was about to wreak havoc on the church of St Chad's. Farndon certainly played a major part during the English Civil War, and St Chad's was no exception. It was in 1643 that Sir William Brereton, commander of the Lancashire and the Cheshire forces for the Parliamentarians, decided that St Chad's would become his barracks, holding up to 2,000 troops. It wasn't long before the 2,000 troops were billeted here at the church. However, before long, the fighting reached the churchyard that we're stood in today. The damage was so severe that every part except for the tower had to be rebuilt in 1658. Standing here today in this churchyard, I can just imagine the sound of the cannons and the muskets being fired, reloaded and fired once again. Now the 14th century tower that still remains here at St Chad's carries the scars of battle with small musket ball marks, and of course where the cannon shot also hit. The Roundheads held up in this tower were under attack from the Royalists. In 1645, advancing Royalists led by Prince Rupert and Prince Maurice forced the Roundheads to flee from here, leaving the church derelict and in a perilous state. For the Parliamentarians, Farndon had fallen to the Royalists. From the earliest medieval period right through to the 17th century, when battles raged around the walls of St Chad's, it just goes to show you what history lays beneath our feet. Why not pay a visit to the historic St Chad's for yourself here on the English-Welsh border?